Hey everyone, what is going on tonight? This is Big Lou, and you are listening to From the Source, a great show geared towards learning more and more about the local and independent musicians that you love and crave. Tonight, I've got a great surprise for you guys. If you guys listen to our Chick Power Hour, they have been one of the most responded bands. People respond very well to this band. They're very tight. They've got great lyrics, and they're really badass. I have Rachel and Nikki from CrashDollz. Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Hey, you guys. How are you?
I'm happy as a pig in shit right now.
Hey, you got the exclusive first interview after our record deal signed, so good for you.
Fantastic.
That's true.
Rachel, tell me about this. What's going on with that?
We signed with Radically Records, and they're distributed through CDN Red and Sony, and we're really excited. We're going to start taking off here. We're doing a second record in August. It's going to be called Punks in America, and then there's going to be tour, and we're excited.
So the second is going to be called Punks in America?
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
The name.
That's a good name, too. You guys, I got to be honest with you. That means that the signed CD is now going to be worth more on eBay. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't sell them. I got like 600, different artists, but I don't sell that stuff. That's for me, for my heart. I love you guys, and this is why I do it. So,
no, I'll tell you what. Actually, one of the first things that really made me feel like we were making it is I went on eBay once, searched us, and found somebody selling a signed CrashDollz CD, and I was like, oh my God, I think we made it.
Really? That is awesome. How much were they getting for it? Just out of curiosity.
It sold for like $30.
Oh, that's not bad. Shit, that's more than a Roger Clemens rookie. You're doing
times,
good.
That's a 3-time markup.
That's
I'm
more.
the one who bought it, of course. But I'm kidding.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Look at Gene Simmons. How much stuff of his own he bought. So, all right. So let's. I want to start off with what's going on.
Hero there.
Huh?
I said our merchandise hero.
Ah. Well, you guys have a lot of merchandise out there?
Not yet, but we're looking. We want to follow the Gene Simmons business model. I can't stand the guy, but I love the idea that we're going to slap CrashDollz on everything and sell it. We can see the CrashDollz sex toys line. It's going to be badass.
What was the?
We're going to bring the metal lunchbox back.
Is that the band? Yeah. Is that the band on the cover of your album? By the way, is that you guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow, Nikki, you're gorgeous. I just want to say that.
Oh, God. Thank you.
But anyways, all right, so let's talk about now. Right now, you guys have a lot going on. You just got signed. Can you give us an idea of what's going on in the next 6 months with you guys? You want to?
We're going to be.
Yeah, you want to talk,
recording.
Rachel? Oh, okay.
No, Nikki, go ahead.
Oh, Nikki, I'm sorry. You girls sound alike.
No, that's all right. We're going to be recording. We have a release date that for our CD, and so we're currently practicing and going to be in the studio, and so that we can bring you our finished product really soon and get our music out there from the second CD. We're really excited about it.
Very, very. And just in case nobody was listening beforehand, what's you want to reiterate that name of the new CD?
Oh, Punks in America.
Yeah, Punks in America. So who came up with that idea?
It was actually from a song that me and Rachel wrote. It's kind of, like the theme for everything that we do, and it just kind of, it's a more mature album, and there's a lot of, heavy stuff in it, and a lot of our punk stuff in it, and this is by far, I think, the best. The best work we've done.
And that's usually a good that's a good sign, because most people put all their work in their first album, and then the second and third, they're like, okay, we got it, we made it, we don't have to. It seems there's usually a lot more heart in the first album, but it seems that you guys are progressing in the right manner, at least, where that you need to have the quality, and that's
the thing of it is, for us, is we our first album was put out in 2013, so It was actually, I felt like it was a pretty high creative achievement, and it was something that we needed to surpass, and we took a long time to make sure that the material for this next record was going to do that. So
yeah. So that's
we couldn't have followed up that album with mediocre.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean it's got the heavy and it's got the funk, but if you're a fan of CrashDollz, you know that we try to get melody into all of that as well, and it was tricky to mature and also get all that melody in there too. So
yeah,
the musicianship.
I think we did it.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. When you guys are releasing it, let me know. And a few days beforehand, we'll do a re-interview and we'll do a live dropping of the album. We won't make it downloadable, or anything like that, but we'll release it for you guys, give everybody a taste, and then send them your way to buy it. So I'd be happy to do that for you guys in August.
Well, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
We are having a lot of reaction with the song Dollhouse. And, that's my personal favorite as well. When we play the chick...
We hear that a lot.
That's because it's a great song. All your music's great, but that seems to be the topper. And on the Chick Power Hour, I usually play you guys in that hour at least twice. And because you have that sound that I want at the beginning of it and at the end of it, and I fill up the middle. So whenever I play Dollhouse, I'm getting chat in the chat. Who is this, or what's the name of this song? And I keep referring them to you. However, I just wanted to say that that song is getting a really good reaction here on Fat Cat Radio, and Nikki, being the vocalist and being having that image as the front woman and all that stuff, how are you what is that? Is that like a CB or something? I'm hearing.
I have no idea what that is. Everything is.
I think it's
silent here. Yeah, it's interference.
Oh, that's weird. All right, so with you being the vocalist, do you find it might be a little bit easier for you being a great band and having a presence on the stage with your sound, because your sound is an automatic presence with the way you guys sound. So do you find it easier to get up on stage and work with such a talented band and be a talented singer yourself?
I do. The band, the musicians that I'm, so lucky to work with are so immensely talented, and it drives everything that we do, right down to, my emotion, and what it pulls, out of me.
Right.
And there's times we're more aggressive. There's times we're not as aggressive. I wouldn't say we're never aggressive. I don't know that I can ever recollect being at a show that we weren't quite aggressive. I think it just, is really dependent upon the level of aggression that we're at, and how loud we are, how driven, the audience is. And it's really easy for me to go to a place, with our audience and, with the people I'm lucky enough to be on stage with, to get there, to get to that place. It is because of them,
So are you the person behind the lyrics, or... is it?
It's mutual between Rachel and myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's collective.
Now, in saying that, you mentioned you gig. How often are you guys gigging out?
Well, right now we've kind of been down, with writing and getting the album to a point where it surpassed the first album, and that it wasn't going to be like you said or what usually happens, a mediocre follow-up.
Right.
With this being our first, album that, a lot of people may hear, with it being distributed, through a label.
Right.
We wanted to make sure that it was going to be a phenomenal album that,
right.
Everybody was going to really enjoy, and it was going to follow up the first.
And that's the quality over quantity. That's the important part here. Many people can push out albums and make a ton of them and have garbage, but the thing is that you guys are focusing on the quality, and that's going to really help you, especially being backed by a label. So when was the last? Did you guys gig normally when you just released this first album? Were you guys gigging out and stuff like that, or?
We were.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We were out.
We used to play out a lot. Yeah.
So
the last shows we did were in New York. We did 2 shows in New York in February, and then after that, it really has been about
writing.
Not just the writing of the record, but also trying to get a deal. We've had to negotiate with a few different companies, and that took some time. So
yeah. Rachel, talk to me about the fan reactions when you guys are gigging out. How does it look to you out there? I mean, do people know your music yet, or how's the reaction out there? Is it good?
I mean, we get we get the people who are sort of standing there with the folded arms. Occasionally we have those people who are skeptical of 2 girls in lingerie, and what are you guys going to do? But there's fans that are just, the minute we step on stage, their eyes are just, popping. They're ready. They love the music. They're singing the lyrics back to us, and it's a great feeling.
Requesting certain songs, their favorites. And
that's very fulfilling. Knowing that you're going there and people are coming to listen to you guys, that's very fulfilling. So
it's actually I find it very fulfilling too to turn those people who are standing there with their hands folded, going, you guys aren't going to be metal enough for me, and we kick their fucking ass.
Hey, you know what? That's where it's at. Rock and roll and kick their ass with your music, man. That's it.
Right.
That's it. Nikki, you were saying? I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I think people, come to our shows and, also are, pretty impressed with the fact that they really do get to know us, that we're pretty social with our following and our, I hate, our fans and, the friends and, the family and the people that, come to see us. We're, they're really included in, what we're doing, every time that we have a show.
Right.
So I think that's for them, that's... Go ahead, Rachel.
I was just going to say, that's the CrashDollz army right there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good way to put it, too. Nikki, let me ask you, man, you're the front woman, and you've got the... Everyone gets to play their music and shine through their technical abilities, and you have the powerful voice and the range. You have the right sound for the band as well. But what I want to ask you about the lyrics here. As the singer, me being a singer, I was the bassist and singer of a band called Strychnine for about 10 years throughout the 90s and late 80s, and I was the vocalist as well. So I remember moments where I had this type of feeling. Let me ask you, is there ever a song one of these songs that you play on your playlist that moves you emotionally, that like brings you to a whole nother world when you're singing it?
I would say, honestly, 9 out of 10 of our songs. I mean, they really, for the most part, our lyrics appear or are about nothing.
Right.
But they are deeply about emotion, generally. And so every one of them, I feel like, pulls something different out of me. And I think it just, based upon our playlist or our set list, it just kind of escalates, crescendos and
sure.
Almost like a good orgasm.
You gotta love those. Well, you know what? An orgasm's an orgasm, but a G-spot orgasm is where it's really at, But you got to know how to do it, though. Rachel, tell me about the first time that you went out there as a band, gigged live. Tell me what it felt like for you, Rachel.
The first time I had a G-spot orgasm, it really scared me, and I wasn't sure what
you felt
to do.
like you had to take a piss, right? You felt like you had to take a piss.
Exactly, and I made a mess, and the guy was going, "What happened?" And I said, "I don't know. What did you touch?"
And she was trying to wipe the peanut butter off her face.
Oh, whatever.
And what is your dog's name, Rachel? What is your dog's name, Rachel?
My dog's name is Duke.
I used to have a dog named Duke. He was a bull mastiff. But anyways, so tell me, what was it like for you on your first gig there? I mean, what was it like for the last 30 seconds before you went on stage? What was going on through your head?
Oh, I'll tell you, in this band, honestly, the first time that we played, because the music we do is kind of unique and different, and I really didn't know how people would react. So the first time we played our first show was a big show, and I remember playing and waiting after the first song was done and just holding my breath, because I didn't know if everyone was just going to stand there and go, "What the fuck are you doing?" And they all just erupted into applause, and I was like, "Oh my God, they get it," you know. So I was actually very nervous that first time. Not that I ever really get nervous, but I was a little that first time.
Well, you know, there's always that first time. You know, you're nervous.
I mean, trying to put a new sound out there, and I mean, even back then in 2012, there's not such a thing really as a rock band that sounds fresh and exciting and unique. So to do that, it's like either people are just going to go, "That doesn't work, stop that," or they're going to go, "Holy shit, that's amazing."
Right, and you really have this like poppy, not pop like pop rock. You have like a punk pop metal rock, you know, fusion here. You know, you guys. Yeah,
it's a weird hybrid, and I think somewhere in there is like, you know, disco and dubstep. I don't know what the fuck's in there.
You know what? It might be. Definitely. It might be appropriate to call your genre Crash or Dollz. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have a whole new sound. I listen to a lot of punk. I listen to a lot of rock. I play a lot. I you know, but you guys have a unique sound, and it works. It works really good. The bassist and the drummer have great harmony. You know, you on the guitar, you're great, and Nikki, you've just got stellar vocals. You guys are fucking badass. You know,
we've heard them refer to our music as cocaine punk. We're kind of but I'm not really sure what that means.
Upbeat,
yeah, but
high tempo. You know, makes you feel like you just did a fucking 8-ball in one shot. You know?
Yeah, and I guess our songs make people feel that way. But it's funny to me because when everything's boiled down, to me, it's still just like Detroit rock.
Right.
And
to
me, one of the last things that came out that was truly unique was White Stripes out of Detroit. They didn't sound like anyone else.
Nobody. And they start out as a two-piece band too, right? They were a two-piece band, right?
I think you know, I think here we are doing the next new thing out of Detroit, and it doesn't sound like anyone else. Like it or not. I mean, actually, some people listen to White Stripes and went, "Oh, fuck that." And I can see people doing that with us because you do have to, when you listen to CrashDollz, you do have to engage as a listener. You can't just sit there passively. You either have to be letting it into your head, letting it into your body, or stepping away and going, "That's too much."
Right.
So I get it that there's some people who don't respond, that they don't get it. It's too much for them. That's cool, but at least we're doing something unique. I'm very proud of that. In 2015, to sound like nobody else is pretty cool.
It's a start of a movement, you know. There's going to be people. You guys are getting signed. You guys are definitely going to be highly exposed now, and you know, it's like almost like Nirvana. You know, they brought this whole new sound out, you know, and a couple other bands from the Northwest, but, you know, and now everybody, you know, and it morphed. So many different bands and sounds morphed off of grunge, you know, and you guys are bringing something new to the table, and it's pleasurable. That's what she said.
I'm looking forward to the music industry taking our music and a bunch of bands watering it down to shitty stuff that's on the radio that everybody's got to listen
trying to imitate it.
The bad imitations of CrashDollz that everyone's going to hate us for.
Hey, you know what? Hey, it is what it is. People are haters, and they're going to do anything they can to make it sound like whoever's hot right now. So, So Nikki, tell me, what separates you guys from other bands? Besides the sound.
I think we are pretty stripped down and exposed and raw as much as you can possibly be without standing somewhere completely naked. And I think that's incredibly ballsy and powerful, and it says something about the character of women in music.
Right.
Absolutely.
And, you know, there's always that, you know, I remember seeing Veruca Salt back in, like, 1991, and it was the first chick band I ever went and saw, and they blew my mind.
They had, like, a good song.
They had a couple good songs, you know, that was Seether and Spider-Man, and then they came out with a couple really big hits in their next album, but I remember that, and I have this affliction towards, not maybe the affliction is the wrong word, but I have this desire to listen to chick bands, chick fronted bands too. And I just love the way it sounds. I just love it. I remember I was doing, I used to work for Reverb Nation and do I used to select their Artist of the Week and Artist of the Month and stuff like that. And for so long, I just kept chick.
Oh, so it's you that kept us out of that, huh?
No. Trust me, if I came across you, I would have picked you. I promise you that much. But as I was saying, the guy Norman, he said, is there something going on here? Why do you keep picking only girl singers? And I'm like, well, I love them. This is my job. This is what I'm doing for you. You don't like it, kick rocks. But you guys are doing really well, and I'm really glad. And I want to gear this. I want to switch a little bit over here. Now let's talk about your pasts here with music. Let's start with you, Rachel. Rachel, what was your first axe?
Oh God, I used to play an old Tisco.
Wow.
Guitar, and then God, that was horrible. I remember breaking that one.
I got a nice I have a nice BC Rich model bitch. I love the fucking thing. It's great. But anyways,
you would love my guitar. You would love mine because if you like BC Rich, mine's like the same kind of thing but way better. It's an old Guild X79.
Oh, real? That's not bad at all. That's a good one. That's great.
It's awesome. There's only like 1,690 of them in the whole world. I got 2 of them, and they don't sound like any other guitar.
Holy shit! Wow, I got to try it sometime. I got to play some lead on that. So, when did it start for you, Rachel? How old were you when you said, or I got your guitar, or how old were you?
I started playing drums when I was about 6 or 7 years old, and went over to guitar at about 13.
Okay,
so I just really wanted to be able to write songs, and it's you can't really do that on drums so much. So
right.
I just wanted to learn melody structure and how all that worked. So I went to guitar, and that was it. I just fell in love.
How was it going through high school as a guitar player? Badass or what?
Yeah, that was like the only chick who played guitar.
And that's what separates you from other people.
Right.
Do you? What was the? I know you said you wanted to learn to write your own music and stuff like that, but everybody learns their chops by playing other people's music. What was the first tune you remember learning?
I think it was like "Dream On" from Aerosmith, but whenever I talk about this, I always reference 2 things just for anybody who wants to learn guitar. One is learn the Beatles catalog. Just start there. Just pick up a Beatles book and learn their songs, because then that's where you learn about chord structures and melody.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing with Pink Floyd. That's what I'm doing with Pink Floyd.
The second thing is if you want to know how to rip on guitar, pick up some Van Halen, like Fair Warning.
Oh,
and just
boy.
Stay in a room for about a week with that record.
You're not even joking with that one, I'll tell you. Van Halen, boy, I'm still trying to learn some Van Halen. I can't do it. I'm having a hard time.
Yeah.
But, so you went through high school. When did you realize that you wanted to do this as a career? That this was going to be what I want to do. I'm going to start a badass band and do my thing. And, what was that pivotal moment that you decided, what, I'm not doing this as a hobby no more. I want to do this in a band and do something with it.
I think I always wanted to. I just got caught up in a lot of the rock and roll excess lifestyle and a lot of the bullshit trappings of the industry.
Yeah.
This is the first band that was really sort of a professional. Everything fell together. Nobody was on dope and stupid and whatever,
And that's tough to find a band that's not on dope, I'll tell you that.
Right.
So, and when you were writing your music as a younger person, as a grown woman now, are you playing some of the music you actually wrote when you were a kid, or is that you've excelled so much past that now, or are you?
No, I don't. But what's funny, and some of the fans might find this interesting. The song "Dollhouse" was actually the music I wrote for that probably 15, 20 years ago. And I never could find the right vocals for it. I never really knew what to do with it. And then in this band, I remember talking to Nikki, and I was like, I got this creepy, weird kind of song. And she was like, bring it in, But that song's really old. That's a really old song for me.
Is there, Is there a certain person that maybe you would like to sit down with and do a workshop with or collaborate with out there?
Eddie Van Halen.
That's a beautiful thing right there. That'd be a beautiful time, I bet. Jeez.
Yeah.
Nikki, you know, were you always singing?
No, but I always I came from a family that was musical, you know, parents that played instruments and sang and were in a band, and siblings, and I was just off busy doing other things. And I mean, I sang, but never in front of, you know, any sort of audience until you know, I was well out of high school. And then at that point I had been in several bands. You know, I grew up in a small town, so there was a bunch of guys that I hung out with, and they all played instruments, and we jammed in high school, but never in front of any audiences or, you know, anything until later. Is
there any kind of image you're trying to portray when you're up there on stage? I mean, what kind of, if not, what kind of image are you actually trying to portray for yourself up there? You guys collectively have a great look, but I mean, is there something that you're trying to do like that feeds you?
Really, I just want everybody to feel everything that I feel while I'm standing up there, and it's the one time, you know, I mean, most everybody that knows me knows I'm not generally an emotional kind of person. It's the one time that you get to see bits and pieces of me, my dark side, my not so dark side. You get to feel, you know, I mean, if you're not walking away feeling, you know, everything that I feel when I'm on stage, then I'm failing miserably at what I'm doing.
You guys have
I really don't have an image that I'm trying to portray so much as I just want you to leave feeling everything that I feel, whether it's every ounce of hate that I feel or every ounce of, you know, joy that I feel, or whatever it is that I'm feeling. I want you to feel it with me. And
definitely comes through in your music and your motion and everything you are. And, you know, image isn't that important to you, which is good, but, you know, at the same time, are you concerned about, you know, whether people may portray you as a certain way and maybe not even like you for the real you, or you don't give a fuck?
I don't know that anybody really knows the real me. I mean, there's very few people that I've always been kind of introverted as far as, like, I mean, or just not as, I'm a little antisocial, I guess. You know, I mean, I've got a small circle of people that I surround myself with, and you know, I don't really give a shit. I've never really given a shit if anybody liked me or not. I really don't care what you think about me. I'm the only person that really has to live with me. You know, I mean, people have to live with, you know, people have to live around me. Nobody actually has to live, you know, in my body or in my head. So it really doesn't matter to me. I really don't give a shit. I prefer if you don't like me. I prefer if you stay the fuck away from me.
Badass,
you know, I mean, that's just me, you know.
Oh no, definitely, I definitely do know that. Let me ask, who influenced you the most growing up? Whether it's a family member or you know, an artist. You know, a lot of women usually say somebody like Janis Joplin, but even if that's fine, that's fine. But who was your influence growing up that helped drive your momentum to be the person you are today?
You know, my parents were in a band when I was a kid, and I remember sitting on the steps and watching them, and the emotion that I felt when they played music, and, you know, when my mom and dad would play a guitar, my mom would sing, that's, I think, what made me fall in love with music. You know, I mean, they're you know, definitely where, you know, it all started. But, you know, I mean, as far as like you know, I mean, I would say as far as a professional musician, it would be Iggy Pop. I worship the ground that the man walks on. I think he is definitely you know, he's definitely the person I think I would probably say I emulate, or that people say that, you know, they see that of. So,
you know, you guys have been doing this for a few years now. So, Nikki, let me ask you, how's your balance between home and life and music and the business aspect? How's your balance?
I have no balance. I'm pretty unfucking balanced.
Time for some lithium. No,
I prefer no meds. I really prefer the roller coaster ride. It's much more fun than living under the roller coaster looking up.
I think it's just every 90 days a little quick visit to the psych ward, and I'm good.
Couple Xanax, you're all set. No, and that's that. See, this is what I got. This is what I'm trying to get out of you guys, and I'm seeing it more and more as we go along. That what, you guys are very content and comfortable with who you are, and you guys are the type of people that will go up on stage and fucking jam. And you know what? For the few people that don't like you, you don't give a fuck. It doesn't eat you alive, and.
No.
It seems that you girls are real badass chicks, man, and that's important in this industry because confidence and reality is two big parts of this. And if you can't be real with yourselves, how are you going to make it in this? Because you're just going to end up fucking under the sheets. Maybe after
the last thing I feel is any concern over the people who don't like us or don't get us, because I know what the actual score is, and the truth is rock and roll needs a new voice, and the boys have been talking for 40 years now, and it's time for the girls to talk, and we're like the new Nirvana. We're the Nirvana of the teen. And we got a whole nother thing to say, and so we're very confident about that. We know what we got.
So you guys are all comfortable with each other, and you guys are ready to hit the road. You guys are ready for gigging out there, and more than likely you're going to be
after
opening.
5 years, we pretty much hate each other and just can't wait to be stuck in a van together.
Right, I know. Nikki and I are going to laugh.
We're so excited about it.
So you guys are more than likely being signed with this label, and they're going to want to make their money, so they're going to want to put you out there gigging and touring and stuff like that. So. You guys are going to probably end up opening for some big bands and maybe even, be the headliners yourselves. So are you, Rachel, are you ready for that?
Abso-fucking-lutely. I've been waiting for it. I'm surprised it's taken this long, frankly. This band, I think, should have been signed a couple years ago. We've had the goods for a long time, so I've been chomping at the bit, waiting to do it for a long time. We're ready. I'm ready.
Are you afraid that maybe all this work ahead of you may take away from living?
That's what we were born for. That's what we live for.
Well, that's how I feel. But I mean, all of us have some kind of life that's outside of that, and
right.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some, that's going to suffer somewhat. But that's part of being a professional, successful musician. I'm ready. I've been waiting for it for a long time. So it's what I was born to do, like she said.
Are you married?
No comment. No.
You're not married? So, I mean, you guys. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is, realistically, when you make it to
the official answer is no.
Oh, okay. Does he know that? No, I'm just kidding.
Does he know that?
Realistically, though, I mean, when you make it to mainstream, I mean, how much time do you think you guys have in you before you need to stop and take a break? That's really what I'm getting to here. Yeah. You guys have that much momentum behind you guys to do 30 years, or you're going to need a couple years breaks here and there?
I've heard the stories of people going on the road right out of the gate for 18 months, Faith No More or something like that, where they just exploded.
Right.
I think personally, I could handle it, but I'm sure it would, take a hell of a lot out of you. I know that, but I'm ready to do whatever's in front of me.
Well, you know what? In my eyes, there's a hell of a journey in front of you guys, and we're gonna get a little more into that, the future in a moment. But so we got here, Nikki, Rachel, you two are definitely a good team. You guys seem like you're really comfortable with each other. But I want to go more a little deeper with the two of you about you guys now.
We like when you go deep.
That's
go deeper.
That's what I heard. Oh yeah.
I don't know how many times I've said that in my life, but it's got to be a lot of times.
Hey, you know what? I got to say something. If a man knows what a girl goes through when she's having a G-spot orgasm, that means he knows how to give a G-spot orgasm.
You know, Lou's got a thing about the G-spot, don't he?
No, not necessarily.
I have a thing about the G-spot, let me tell you.
I got to be honest, the first time I experienced it, I thought it was low tide with a cat tongue on it, but
right.
You know, as you get older, you learn that it's not about just pounding it; it's about caressing it as well. And you know, you learn as you get older. And you know,
I'm getting a little excited.
I enjoy the attempt of giving a G-spot orgasm through the ass. And that is a challenge. It's all about geometry, ladies. It's all about geometry.
I haven't done that yet.
So, so let's go deep, Rachel. You know, grab the KY.
Deep in your ass, bitch.
Oh, I'm not in the ass, damn it. Front door only. No, go ahead.
Hey, you know what? Everybody's got a little of the back door in them if you do it right. You just can't ram it.
Well, if I drink tequila, if I drink tequila, all my doors are like a saloon door. They're just swinging, ready to go.
But you know, guys are like fucking idiots. I mean, you know, when somebody does open the back door to you, you never know. It could be their first time doing that, and you can't just fucking ram it in. You gotta you gotta make sure that it's loosened up a little bit so it's ready for it. You can't just fucking throw a goddamn telephone pole into a.
Rachel and I just had this conversation.
I know, Lou. You need to tell all the guys this. You have a radio show. Spread the word.
We did have a show. We did have a show. We did have a show all about sexual help and healing and stuff like that. It was called.
We should be co-hosts of that show.
I would love to do this. Seriously, I would love to do this.
Let me offer our sexual services for you.
Yes, you have no idea how much knowledge is between her and I.
I can give you some references. Trust me, there's knowledge here too. You know, so yeah, Rachel. You know, let's talk a little bit about you first. We're gonna go a little bit in your past here. Growing up, you know, as a girl, as a guitarist, you know, you've had certain things that were probably, you know. You had certain parts of your life that were better off than a lot of other women because you had something that made men attract to you besides beauty or, you know, the superficial things. You had something that, like, a guy looks at a girl up on stage jamming on guitar or hearing them at a park with an acoustic band, it turns them on. And, you know, you've had a lot of good things to help get you to where you are today. And I'm sure it's other stuff besides that. But in my eyes, you know, as a musician, it's really hot and it's really it's attractive. And, you know, with you, in saying that, you know, if I were to sit down with your girlfriends, your friends all around you, you know, and ask them, you know, hey, what do they appreciate about Rachel the most? What do you guys appreciate about Rachel the most? What would they say to me?
Probably that I make them laugh. I make everybody laugh.
That's not it. I'm one of your girlfriends. That's not.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
You're not.
I don't know.
You're not funny. I don't know if you know this or not. You're just.
Oh my God! I'm the funniest person you've ever met.
You're not funny. I don't know what you're talking about.
You girls are
Have
funny.
Have you met you?
Oh man. So now, what would you say then, Nikki? What would you say that you appreciate about her? What do you appreciate about her the most?
Her honesty. It's the thing I dislike the most because I don't want to hear it 90% of the time, but it's the thing I respect most about her.
And what about you, Rachel? What do you appreciate about Nikki the most?
Oh, do you want to touch my soft spots? Please don't.
No.
Ooh.
I think with her, it's her genuine character. She has a very intense core of her character that is she allows it to be viewed by people when she's on stage, and I know that person off stage. For me, it's a beautiful thing to watch her perform because I know what she's putting across, and it's that deep, genuine heart that she has, and she puts it into her music with such passion. I love that about her as a person outside of the music.
Yeah, you girls.
Wow.
You girls. Yeah, I was just gonna say. You know.
Do you want to go make out?
You girls love each other, huh?
Yeah, we just did that.
I'm ready to do it again. Do you want to try for my G-spot this time?
What town you guys in? Because I got a full tank.
Like
guys, I got a full tank of gas. Where's this happening? No. My wife's in the hospital right now, so if she heard this, she'd kick my ass. But I don't care.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
No. So Rachel, let's move on with you here again, real quick. Let's talk about you and your your future here. What do you think that you need to do more of in your future to help you better in this endeavor that you have here? What do you think you need to do more of?
I need to be a bit more business savvy. I don't really understand how to. I don't really grasp the concept of putting a number value on the art that we create. So to me, I see it as being something that it should just be respected and given. But I understand that in the business you have to put a number on it. It has to have a value that. I don't know. When I deal with business people, I'm not very good at it. I need to be better at that.
And it's tough. It's tough to balance the music and the business and all that stuff together. And I'm really glad that you.
It's tough to look at your babies and put a price tag on them. That's
exactly.
what I'm saying. I mean,
exactly.
There's something about that whole. There's something about that whole concept that makes me squeamish.
Exactly. I understand. I understand that. And I'm really glad, though, that you mentioned the term art and stuff, because I've been thinking about this this afternoon when I was putting together a few extra questions for you guys and stuff like that, and judging by listening to your music and judging by what I've seen and read on you guys, I was thinking this, there's artists and there's musicians, and I believe that there is a fine line between the two. So what are your thoughts on the word being called as an artist as opposed to being called a musician, or vice versa?
I definitely like being called an artist, because I think that what we do, if you look at the whole thing of what we do and not just focused on one aspect, as a collective, it is an art piece, what we do. I wouldn't call it performance art, but it's close. It's almost like that in a way. Right.
It is. It really is. And especially, being a guitarist, even any kind of instrument, and being a vocalist, these are tough things. You can't just stand up and do it. It takes a lot of crafting, and it's just, it is an art. It's an art form, and yeah. I believe that. I'm a musician myself, and I like to be called an artist because I believe that what I write is art, and I'm a painter as well, and I believe what I paint is art, and there's no difference. It's all just a different medium. That's it.
Right.
So, what are your main goals here for the next few years for you? What are you trying to achieve?
I want to make lasting. I want to make lasting art. On the front end, I want to be able to convey the kind of butterflies in my stomach that I heard or felt when I heard certain music that moved me, Daisy Chainsaw or Queen Adrena or something like that, where I just had butterflies when I heard it. I want other people to have that. But I also want to make lasting music that 10, 15 years from now people are still listening to, trying to figure out how to play or try to get that emotion into their music.
And I have a feeling that what you just said will be your same exact answer, possibly, or response to my final question later. But let's go another direction here. All right, so Nikki, sorry to leave you hanging there for a moment.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Nikki, let me ask you, if you had 5 minutes left on Earth and you can perform one song, and that you want that song to leave a lasting impression and impact on the world, and you had 5 minutes left to perform one song, what would that song be?
It would definitely be one of the songs off of our new album.
Okay.
I don't know if I should.
You don't have to divulge. You don't have to divulge it.
That. Yeah, I was going to say.
That's okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. And
I can tell you that we do have an acoustic. I mean, not to plug another interview on yours, but I mean, if you're interested, we will have something coming up acoustically of a couple of our songs that you may get a chance to hear.
Where are you guys out of again? I'm sorry. You're in Tennessee?
No, it's Detroit.
Huh? Detroit. I thought you guys were south. I'm sorry. All right, so sorry about that.
That's
you guys, and that's my own fault.
I can't imagine us coming out of Tennessee.
Yeah, no, that's why
I can imagine that.
I think that's what I'm interviewing tomorrow is from Tennessee. I'm sorry. So, Nikki, let me ask you. Nikki, how do you handle closed doors in this industry? How do you handle these closed doors? Because they all come along.
Let them generally kick them off the hinges.
Kick them the fuck down.
Tie up them combat boots.
I don't really see doors or boundaries or personal space or limits or political correctness or I don't really see things in front of me that stop me generally. If it's an obstacle, I'm going to go around you, through you, over you, under you.
Right.
But I'm going to get around you. I'm going to get through it.
Yeah, and that's your momentum. And speaking of it, Nikki, what actually does drive your momentum?
I don't know how to answer that. I feel like there's so many things that drive my momentum.
Okay. I
would definitely say it's emotionally driven.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually an exceptional answer. That's a good one right there. Some people are driven by money. And I'm sure money's a part of it for you guys, but you guys, I think, really enjoy the actual gigging and the actual writing process and being able to convey it out there emotionally, and that's a good thing. And you're the front woman, as we said. And in case anybody doesn't know, if you're just tuning in, I do have Nikki and Rachel from CrashDollz, and the phone lines are open. 1-866-485-0066 if you'd like to call in and ask them a question or comment about their music. You can check out their complete showcase this Friday afternoon. I believe it's going to be coming on at 5 p.m., so make sure you guys are there. Now, being the front woman, Nikki, normally I would ask a guy this, but you know what? I'm kind of interested to hear what you have to say, but what's the most craziest or exotic or, anything that has been thrown at you on stage? I mean, usually guys are getting panties thrown at them. I mean, you got jock straps thrown up there, and what's happening? Anything?
Their bodies.
Is there a good reaction with a lot of men at your shows?
I think they're generally afraid to come within a reasonable distance for the most part, which is pretty safe. Usually, because we generally will leave the stage. I mean, we're not really a band that necessarily stays on stage 100%, of the time of the show. We're down, with you.
Right.
So I think they pretty much, want to stay out of the way.
Is there,
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. You were going to say, Rachel?
I've noticed that a lot of times when we play, people crowd up in the front, and then we start playing, and it's not just the velocity of the music, but Nikki and I start going crazy and whipping shit around, and everybody, it's like we push a broom, and everybody just kind of scatters, and then we run out into the audience and chase them,
Yeah.
So
is that what you're looking for a reaction? I mean, is that the kind of image you're trying to portray sometimes? I mean, because I know being a badass
You're
band,
hung up on this whole image thing.
Not really. I mean, I'm trying to get a better understanding as a listener to learn more about you and what you guys are trying to put out there, what you're trying to show visually. You're
in a different mood every day. We're in different moods every day.
Oh, all right. So then,
I think the concept though is transference of energy and emotion. So when we fire up the music just propels us in whatever direction.
Right.
We want that to go into the audience, and if we have to bring it to you physically by running out into the audience and smashing up into your face, which we do all the time.
Right.
That's what we do.
Or your testicles. It's happened.
Yeah. Whatever happens.
So Rachel, in in an industry where so many people have failed at, do you guys feel like you feel like you're actually achieving success?
I think we're going to, and I think we're teetering on it right now. It's an industry that's in such flux right now.
Yeah.
Even the people who really know what's going on and run businesses
right.
are trying to figure out what the hell to do next. So how to monetize things and create a revenue stream for a band is a difficult thing. You don't have the kind of MTV thing and
right.
the FM radio support for rock and roll music like there was. So it's about other things. This band is so marketable.
Yeah, and you are. Yeah, you are. And I hate to say the word again, but your image is marketable too. I hate to say that word.
You can slap us on anything and sell it.
And you guys are, just your album cover that when you guys sent to me, I was just thrown. It was great. It was raunchy. It was wild. It was chaotic, and that's a good thing to have. You guys are touching on all different things there. So Rachel, is there what's the magic formula, if there is one, that you used to get to the point you're at today?
A formula?
Yeah, I mean teamwork. I mean anything. Was it not giving up? I mean tell somebody out there who's listening right now, who's new to the industry, who's just getting out of the gate. Help them understand the best way to get out of the gate and promote themselves.
Well, I think it comes down to a couple simple things that people step over a lot, and I think a band is chemistry, and it's like a relationship. If you love somebody or you don't, it's chemistry that makes that work or not. And this band is chemistry starting with the chemistry that Nikki and I have. And I would say to anyone, you need to find that chemistry in order to have a band that's going to stand out in the crowd or whatever.
Yeah.
And then secondly, you got to write good songs. People forget to do that. They're so hung up on their musicianship or,
yep.
Their
image,
corpse paint image or whatever the bullshit
Hey, quiet over there, Nikki. You're
good
right
songs,
too.
You don't have anything without a good song. You don't have anything without a good song.
But you know what, Rachel, you're right too. And one of the things that you do have is the unity as a band. You guys, earlier you mentioned that everybody's got their own touch in this, and it's not just one person leading the band making all the decisions. You guys are doing things collectively. That's really important, and that's going to help you get along further in this.
Yeah.
That's something that is definitely in the green for you guys. You guys have a good rapport with each other. You guys are friends, and I maybe even lovers. I'm not sure yet, but you guys are tight knit.
I've heard that rumor. But
you guys are tight. You guys are very tight.
We just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we haven't actually done it. But no, I can't stress enough how much it's a magic thing that happened when Nikki and I got together.
Yeah.
I played with a lot of musicians. So has she.
Right.
I've never felt that. You have to find, Lennon has to find their McCartney, and
right.
Keith Richards has to find their Mick Jagger. It's not.
Yep.
It really is sort of a magical thing, and you can't predict it. You can't force it. It happens or it doesn't. And lightning struck when her and I met.
And it too, right? When it happens, the first time you guys work together, it.
Yeah, we did.
Nikki, tell me, is there something that you live by, some kind of motto or advice that you live by?
Not really. I pretty much just live by, not regretting everything. Everything's a learning experience. I try not to make the same mistakes twice, and honesty, that's pretty much it. I mean, I am who I am, so I mean, I can't change that, and wouldn't. I have zero desire to change.
And being a woman in this industry, I mean, do you feel, has it come across to you that you've had to work harder because you're a woman?
Yeah. I mean, men are assholes, no offense, but I mean, they just,
trust me, I know.
Generally, they generally, they're pretty set-minded, and especially when it comes to chicks and what they expect of, music that comes from, females, that is different from, from them. So, but it doesn't, it doesn't really matter when, as, Rachel said, when the music is good, it really doesn't matter.
Exactly.
You can't be closed to it.
You're right. And having this harmony too with everybody is such a blessing for you guys. So Nikki, what's your definition of home? What do you call home? What's your definition of home?
4 walls and a roof.
Okay, so very practical definition of home then. You guys have this really good aura with you guys. So let me ask you, Rachel, if you were to go back and be born again, and you weren't born in the 20th century, what century do you think would have been ideal for you?
The 25th, because by then we'll be able to teleport to other planets.
Did you guys hear about that planet they found that was covered in weed?
No, I didn't.
The conditions are, it's a habitable planet now, and they, because that's what they're doing. They're searching for habitable planets.
Sweet, it's Crashtopia.
And it's covered in weed.
Go there.
Yeah, right. It's covered in fucking weed. It's crazy.
All right, we gotta go there.
Yeah, right.
That's our plan. Let's tour to Crashtopia and back.
Tour to Crashtopia.
If we put a flag on that name, does that make that planet Crashtopia? I'm all about it.
Yeah, trademark.
Did you guys catch that reality show called Utopia a couple months ago?
No.
It was a crash. It was horrible. That just made me think of it. All right, Rachel, quick fire, real quick. Let's do a quick fire. Just fill in the blanks. First thing that comes to your head. The most important person in my life is blank.
Me.
The most annoying person in my life is blank.
Me.
Without my blank, I can't get through the day.
Guitar.
My blank defines my style.
I blank to what?
My blank defines my style.
Oh. My creativity.
All right, Nikki, your turn. To me...
Oh, God, please don't.
To me, change is blank.
Good.
Without blank, my band would not exist.
Music.
My life would be blank without music.
Empty.
Dimebag Darrell was blank.
Not a fan.
Support local music because blank.
We rock!
Yes. So you guys are great, and I would love to really, truly get you guys maybe on Friday when I do this, maybe just call in for a couple minutes and just, say hi to the people listening to your showcase as well.
Okay.
But before I go, I have a question that I always ask at the end, but before I get to that, Rachel, tell us, where can we buy your music?
Well, the new album is going to be dropping in August, but our debut album is available on CrashDollz.com, which is with a Z, CrashDollz.com. You can also download it on iTunes, Amazon, TuneCore, all that kind of stuff. Bandcamp.
Okay. And
anywhere digitally.
Right, yeah. And the majority. And you guys, I'm glad we had this because, I'm writing this stuff down too. So, because people are asking about it, like I had said. Is there anything you wanted to get out there that I didn't talk about? Anything that you wanted to make sure you said tonight that, I didn't ask or something? Any gigs? Anything you wanted to talk about?
I want to reiterate to anyone who's tuning in later that we are now signed with Radically Records out of New Jersey, and our new record's going to be recorded in Toledo, Ohio, It's going to be released in August. It's called Punks in America. It's going to be mastered by the guy who did Slayer and White Stripes and all kinds of bands.
That's beautiful. That's awesome.
It's going to be a killer record, and it's going to be tour following, and we're going to see all our CrashDollz fans all over the world. Every little last one of you motherfuckers, we're going to come see you.
Little fuck faces.
Yes. Is there any other ladies? Is there any other sexual tips you'd like to get out there? No, just kidding. For the guys, you know.
I was about ready to start, but I'm just getting started here.
You know, I got to be honest with you, girls. You know, I was raised by a woman, and I know this sounds weird, but when I was 15 years old and 14 years old, and I was dating a girl, I went to my mother and I asked her about sex, and I you know, and my mother, when I was 14, I think I was almost 15, she said, well, the most important thing is not just touch and sensuality, but it is the G-spot. And I'm 14, I had no idea what the fuck a G-spot was. So my mother, she didn't show me on herself, but she explained to me where the G-spot was, how to stimulate it, what to do, you know, lick your thumb and tackle the ass a little bit here and there, you know, and these are things that I've learned, you know, and it's tough as a man growing up, being around so many and coming across so many women who really haven't had an orgasm or don't even know what it feels like, or married to a guy that you know is a two-pump chump, you know, and it's you know, these things, the men suck. And I agree with you when you said that earlier. Men are assholes. They're all selfish. But men, if you're listening...
They really are.
If you men are listening, it's not all about you. You got to get her off first.
I would like to get it out there as a worldwide announcement to everyone that CrashDollz have discovered the K-spot.
Oh,
and that is
a
very special spot. It's deep within the vagina, but... You have to do a little bit of, yes, it's tantric. You have to do a little bit of a Swedish washcloth technique and a little bit of a twirl of the finger, but you'll get it because you'll know when you get it, because as soon as you start getting it right, the girl starts singing Female Anarchy from CrashDollz.
All right, ladies, final question. I end every one of my interviews with this question. I'm going to start with you, Nikki. Nikki, what kind of mark are you looking to try? What kind of mark are you trying to make on the face of today? Whether it's personal or musically, what kind of mark are you trying to make on the face of today?
Wow, that's a good question.
Thank you.
I just want to. I just want our music to be heard everywhere. I want that would be the mark I want to leave or I want to make, is our music to be heard everywhere. You know, on all FM stations, everywhere. You know, I'd like to be touring and meeting people and leaving my mark, you know, by meeting them, whatever the case may be. I would just like to be remembered for how I made you feel when you know, came to one of our shows, or how we made you feel when we were out there. And, you know, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Also, if you guys ever plan on going on a tour, please make sure you contact me. I'll put it up on my website so everybody knows where to go catch you. So, Rachel, what kind of mark are you trying to make on the face of today?
A big, smudgy thumbprint on the history of rock and roll. I want to make sure that when they write the next rock and roll books about the history of what was badass, I want a whole chapter on us, and I want us to be the most interesting chapter in the whole fucking book.
It'd be a big chapter, that's for damn sure.
And Rachel, if you can take one sentence and have it painted on the face of today for all of eternity to see it, what would that sentence be?
Fuck you, you fucking fuck, because I don't want to be rude.
I bought that T-shirt at Walmart like 10 years ago. Fuck you, you fucking fuck. I remember that shit.
Yeah, but you got to put, because I don't want to be rude at the end.
Oh. What about you, Nikki? If you could pick a sentence that can be painted on today and seen for the rest of time, what would that sentence be?
I don't have one.
Oh, okay. Well,
I have no idea.
I don't have one. Of course you don't have one. You're a woman. I have one.
I can't pick one sentence.
Well, anything that you
I have
a message.
Too many personalities for one sentence.
Well, who's
Rosebud.
What personality?
Rosebud.
So Rosebud? Fuck you, Rosebud. All right, guys. Listen, I want to thank you very much for taking a little bit of time out of your night and spending it here, shooting the shit with me, talking a little bit about you, your past, your present, your future, and a little bit about you personally, and talk about your music and where it's sold and all that happy shit. And I want to just thank you guys. You guys are really... You guys are really cool people, and, you know, we do often during shows, especially during the Chick Power Hour, we invite the musicians to call in and say hello and talk about anything new coming along. If you don't mind, I'd contact you guys and let you know when the next time, you know, I have an available slot for you guys, and you can hop on for a couple minutes. Everything's always live as well. And also, you guys are now being played on the indieauthority.com as well. I've been doing shows over there and helping them out, and you guys are getting airplay over there as well. So, but I want to thank you guys. Thanks for coming out and spending the time with me on Fat Cat Radio.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, I didn't have you. No,
and thank you for being a fan.
I'm a really big fan, guys. I don't remember. I think I saw a post on Facebook with one of your guys' songs. The song was it Novocaine? I think it was. I don't know. Somebody was posting a song by you guys, and I saw it, and that's when I contacted Rachel. That's when I contacted you, Rachel, right? I told you.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was instantly happy as hell, and that's when me and Rachel were talking about getting an interview and all that stuff, and thank you guys, you know, for taking this time, and especially sending me the album too. That was a treasured gift, and thank you again. And just if you can
sure.
Hold on the line 1 minute, I'm going to wrap this up. All right, everybody, this is Big Lou, and you are listening to Fat Cat Radio with two of the most lovely ladies, actually not lovely, but wild ladies that I've had the opportunity to sit down and talk with, Rachel and Nikki from the band CrashDollz, and you just heard everything you want to know about them straight from the source. Have a good night. I'm Big Lou.